Listen to this. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 13, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou?" Let's go to Jeremiah 13, the verse 3. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying." Now I'm focused here. The word of the Lord has a time frame when it's coming unto you. When God speaks to us, there's a time frame for you to respond. The reason you are not responding to the voice of God is because of fear, doubt. You want to give time to yourself to respond to God's voice. When God speaks to you, He gives a margin. The voice of the Lord carries this margin, this atmosphere. So when God speaks, there's an energy level He gives to your spirit man to be able to respond to His voice. Resign from your work and respond to my call. He gives you an energy level, a certain strength to respond, a certain strength to be able to write your resignation letter. He gives you a certain strength to be able to respond to His voice. When the Lord tells you, end that relationship, He gives you a certain strength, a certain ability to be able to do it. When the Lord says, leave town and go to this village, leave this village and go to this town, do my biddings, He gives you a certain power in your spirit, a certain strength, unexplainable. There is this knowing that the Lord spoke to you. You might not maybe hear, you may not hear it as audible as others may hear the voice of God. You may not hear it just as you are hearing me, but when God speaks to us, you will know, because there's an inbuilt ability in a man's spirit that identifies the voice of God. So when the voice of God comes in contact to a man's spirit, there is an ability in him to know that God spoke to me. I heard Him in my spirit. He says I should do this. So He gives you the ability to be able to take His instructions. Now, when God speaks to you, He's expecting you to take a step. You don't give God time to take His step. You don't give God time to take a step. When He wants the step to be taken now, He is expecting it now. So the word of the Lord can come to you the first time. It may take 10 years for that cycle to come. It may take you 5 days. It may take you a season again to be able to hear that same voice again in its potency and its authority or power. So when God says do this, you must quickly do it, because at that moment God provides an energy level. God provides you strength. God provides you what you need to carry on with the commandment He has given you. Go. You have to take a move. Now, what if you don't take that step? If you don't take that step, thinking the voice of the Lord will come back again the second time, maybe yours may not come again the second time. Maybe yours may take 10 years again to come, because it's like a cycle. So if you don't take quick response, if you don't take responsibilities to the voice of God and to what God is asking you to do, and you are expecting Him to keep telling you, God has other things to do. There are other people who are ready to hear from God and to take those steps. So if God can bypass a church and go to a beer parlor and pick up people to respond to His voice, he is not far from doing it, because He has done it before. He can leave the mountains where people are praying, God use me, and He will go to a beer parlor, to a mosque, and put His word in the mouth of unbelievers to respond to His voice, to respond to His call, to go to the nearby villages, to preach His word, to go to environments His name is not known. So many of us Christians, we are familiar. We think we are familiar to the voice or with the voice of God. Say that even when God speaks, we are giving God time to respond to Him. No, we shouldn't give God time to respond to Him. When He's speaking to you now, respond now. When He says now, respond now. I was in senior high school and the Lord spoke to me. After senior high school, I should go to Bible school. Why? I heard Him in my spirit. I didn't hear Him audibly. I heard Him in my spirit, man. And from there, I went to Bible school. I was in Bible school for 3 good years in the Upper West region. And I was ordained at my 23 years. I was 23 years by then. Even before I would meet my spiritual father, the highly esteemed Prophet David Raouf, I had to be in certain environments so God would be able to cultivate something in me to prepare me for this journey I am embarking on. Because it was there, it was in that environment I found myself, and it was through my stay in that environment I had an information about my spiritual father. That means that if I was not found there, there's no way I will hear anything whatsoever about the highly esteemed prophet. It was my stay there that provoked certain happiness. It was my stay there that brought that opportunity to have knowledge about my spiritual father. And I had an encounter with him. And here I am, ordained also by him. Now, why am I saying all these things? I have a background. I belong somewhere in the ministry. So, if God is giving you, if God is giving you an instruction or taking you to certain locations or environments, He is preparing you for certain happenings. He is preparing you for certain movements. He's preparing you for an explosion. He's preparing you for another set time. He's preparing you. Some don't know. So when God speaks to you, quickly respond to His voice. Or else, when the energy level reduces, you will not have the ability to respond to that voice, because you will not find it interesting. You will not find it important. You will not find it comforting to respond, because that energy level is no more. And that's why many people are living outside God's will. They are only in the permissive will. Some are even walking in error, because God once spoke and we didn't listen. Some heard Him but didn't take action. Take action today. Respond to His voice. If you are leaving that job and do what He asked you to do, do it. If you are leaving that man, that woman, do it. If that thing is what God is asking you to leave, because He is speaking. God bless you. Ike Mission, signing out.